So this is a continuation of some of my previous videos. I had been journaling my pregnancy. Essentially, this is the video that no one ever wants to tell. This is the shit part. I wasn't sure whether to continue with my channel, whether to continue with videos, whether this was a really vulgar, I don't know, I really considered it, considered what I wanted to do with this journaling. And then I realized I have nothing to be ashamed of, and that this is just something really shit that happened, and it's part of the story, it's part of the journey, and the journey is not finished, it's not over, not by a long shot. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll see that my pregnancy was as easy as they get. Lethargy was the only thing I really had to deal with. That's probably why I got so slack with my videos. I was lucky. We fell pregnant really quickly, really easily. I had a very, very easy, low-risk pregnancy. I went into labour the day before the due date, and had I think, a pretty easy early labour. I practiced my hypnobirthing. I began using my TENS machine. In the hospital, I ended up using TENS in combination with gas. And then I had the entire gamut of intervention that a hospital could offer. I had what they call amniotic fluid embolism. I got essentially really unlucky. I got really, really unlucky. I still believe that it is possible to have a straightforward labour, which is precious, amazing time. I didn't get that. I got unlucky. With an amniotic fluid embolism, essentially, it is lethal. There are women, very few women who have had it. Like, I think 1 in 100,000 have it. I understand in all cases the baby passes away, which in our case our baby girl did. She passed away. For the mother, there have been mothers that have passed away. There have been mothers that have had hysterectomy. And the only real blessing, apart from the fact we got to meet our little baby girl, is that I am here today to make this video. I'm here today living and breathing without having had any kind of hysterectomy. That is the lucky part. So I had practiced hypnobirthing, used hypnobirthing and TENS, then used gas and TENS, then had an episiotomy and an epidural, and then went in for an extremely emergency cesarean. I mean, they say it was, you know, people go in for cesareans and they might kind of, I don't know if people say they had an emergency cesarean. I had what they call an emergency cesarean. I then went off to recovery and had everything plugged into me all over the place to try and stabilize me because I bled so much. They pumped me full of fluids and blood, and I went to ICU. That's serious. Unbelievable. For a girl who's never been admitted to hospital in her life, I had everything. 24 hours in the ICU, then a period of time in the, there's a ward that looks after the complex patients, and then onto the regular ward. I had the full gamut that you can have. I got really unlucky. little Chloe, because of what I had, which was not something that anyone could have ever predicted or foreseen. I was monitored like everyone else. I was low risk. Had everything measured properly. Everything was perfect. No one could pick up anything. She, because of what I had, was without oxygen for a period of time. That's not good. She was born not breathing, I think maybe without a pulse or something. But when, I remember in the in theatre, I remember not hearing her cry. But I know that babies sometimes come out not crying, and they can be revived very quickly. That didn't concern me, and I was so exhausted, dehydrated, and dazed. I was out of it, really. But Chloe was essentially never given the chance. She was given absolutely everything that medical science had to offer, a full gamut of everything. They tried everything on her. The problem was that she was denied that oxygen. She'd already received some damages parts of the brain. She ended up injuring some seizures, not physical seizures, but just brain seizures, which I think she wasn't physically flipping about or anything. She just had these seizures. Yeah, it sucks. They did everything and were the most respectful and the most dignified people to her, and gave her so much love and dignity. It's beyond words of how to explain, how you feel when you see these nurses looking after this treasured little baby in such a stunningly beautiful way. I'm so thankful for that she had that respect and that dignity and that care and that level of attention. We were all blown away by it. Because I was in the ICU for, the first 2 days, I didn't actually see Chloe until maybe the third or fourth day maybe from then. I was very much in self-preservation mode. I was dealing with the fact that I was in the ICU, and I was dealing with that, and I couldn't sleep, and I was dealing with my pain, all the physical elements. I was on morphine originally, and that just knocked my head around in a really bad way. So I had to get over that. I was always just, hoping to be able to move forward, and I always seemed to be moving backward. It was very, very difficult. So it took a little while for me to go down and see her in the nursery. And that was really difficult in itself, I've realised, is that, to have not seen your child after it was born for a good couple of days, and then to see her and to be meeting her when she's got all these tubes and she's in the NICU, and that is really bloody difficult. I was wheeled into the rooms, into the nursery, and we'd named her Chloe. We had that name picked out. We weren't sure about a boy's name, so when I heard a nurse say that it was a girl, I was so excited. I'm like, oh wow, Chloe, it's Chloe. When I was wheeled into the room and I saw her little bed that had Chloe on it, I just, it was all so much to deal with. And it was hard, Dale had really built up this beautiful relationship with her and was so comfortable with her, and I didn't know what to do. I really wasn't wanting to get out of my chair because I was still really unwell, and being in the NICU was physically and emotionally a very exhausting place to be. They did a full gamut of tests on her, and finally, once we had the